Cherish and Flow fam? This story time is literally just something that just popped in my head, and I'm gonna try to tell it as fast as possible without missing none of the stuff, because my boyfriend and my sisters, like everybody just left to go do the food pickup and then get the drinks so that we can watch a movie. And I'm trying to hurry up and tell the story because it popped in my mind. And if you know me, anybody who know me know that I'll have a story and then forget it for 6 months. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story while it's on my mind. So a couple stories actually popped in my mind. I'm running down, I'm done. But anyway, in today's story time, I'm gonna talk about the time that I was dating this boy who really made me feel anti-black. I wouldn't say he made me feel anti-black, but he made me feel like he was anti-black, and he was a black man, and it was a very serious problem. And so like, this is for like, if men or women, anybody, you hear somebody saying this and they're black, please, please, please do not let it just slide without saying nothing, because he would say some stuff to me and I would not say a single solitary thing about it. So quick backstory, I may have told y'all about this or not, but he's the boy who asked me to homecoming with flowers, and we went to a all-white school, and I was the only black girl in the high school, and he was the only black boy in the high school, so everybody wanted us to be together, including him. And I felt like the main reason that he did wasn't because he liked me or because he thought I was pretty, you know I was, but it wasn't because he thought I was pretty, it was because we were the only 2 black kids in the school. So fast forward, we start dating, right? Like in a relationship. Now, mind you, I didn't really like him that much. Like, I liked him, he was a nice guy, he was cool, he was whatever, but I didn't like him like romantically the way that he liked me. However, I don't know, I wasn't interested in nobody else, whatever, so it seemed harmless to just date somebody or whatever. So I say or whatever a lot, huh? That's a real late occurrence. So he's talking to me about, like, we're dating for a long time, and then I started to pick up on a few little things that made me uncomfortable. One of those things was, back then I did used to straighten my hair with the flat iron, but also my hair was like, it was my hair. I didn't get relaxers or nothing like that. But I did used to straighten my hair like once a month or something. My hair would just be straight, and it stayed that way for a while. And one day, I had my hair in a little ponytail, and it was just a little ponytail, regular little ponytail, whatever. And he was all like, have you ever thought about getting a perm? Which, now, back then we didn't know the difference between perms and relaxers, but he said, have you ever thought about getting a perm? Which was a relaxer. And I was like, no, I used to get them, but they're not good for your hair, blah, 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 blah. That's what I was telling him. This is high school. I was a sophomore in high school. And he was like, he said, well, you should think about getting a perm, because you could take better care of your hair would look better, you wouldn't have to worry about those kinks and da-da-da-da. And I was looking at him, and I was like, don't you have a black mama with kinks and a black sister with kinks? And I didn't say nothing, I just looked at him. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, yeah, he said, it's not, it's not as, it's not as cute, when your hair got all the kinkiness. It's like, you just want to straighten it out, da-da-da-da. He went on this, like, he talked to me for like 5 minutes about my hair and how, I should get a perm because it would look real pretty straight, and I would just look so much prettier if I had straighter hair, and blase, blase, blase. So I'm just like, okay. Now, y'all, if anybody know me, I love myself some melanin hair, okay? I love the curls, the kinks, all of that. Also, straight hair be looking good on us too. Doesn't we can rock anything, But I didn't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way, but it was the first occurrence, and so I did not make it a huge deal. So fast forward, he used to work in extremes. Like, he would say something real anti-black to me, but then he would say other stuff that was like super duper extra pro-black that seemed like a little off top, like a little too much sometimes. Like, for example, we was walking and we was leaving school, and I guess these 2 white kids passed by, and I guess one of them said the N-word. I did not hear it, but he said that they said the N-word, and if somebody had said it and they wasn't saying it like to us, I said, oh, they was calling us the N-word, like, let's say something. But he was like, they wasn't talking to us, they were just saying it in their little whatever. And so I rolled my eyes, but I just kept on walking, because like, for me back then, even now, like, if I don't know you and you're not even in my circle, like, we not even talking to each other, we not in the same group, nothing, you over there, you doing some stuff I don't like, I'm not about to get up out my seat and go over there you can't correct these white people. It's a waste of your time, so I'm not about to do all of that. So I was like, I rolled my eyes and I just kept on walking. But then he go off. He's just like, nah, this is racist. This is such a racist school. Blah, blah, blah. Black people are this and black people are that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I mean, you right. Black people is this. Black people is that. We is all of this and all of that and all of that. But calm down. Like, it's just like 0 to 100. Can we? So then this same weekend, I remember this because it was the same weekend. Because this happened on a Friday. That same weekend, he called me. We was watching this movie. It wasn't a movie, it was a show. We was on the phone watching the show. It was real cute, y'all. We was cute, like giggling, kiki on the phone until this happened. Then I wasn't kiki-keying as much no more. So we was watching this thing. And he was commenting, we was watching this, what's it called? I Shouldn't Be Alive, or I Almost Died, or, you know, they had a couple of shows that had a similar title where people went through these experiences where they almost died or whatever. So it was with this one woman who, it was like, she got kidnapped by some dude and they was like cutting up her stomach because they were trying to steal her baby. Like they literally acted like they was selling strollers or whatever, and they ended up like taking her back to their house and keeping her prisoner and like carving open her stomach to get her baby. It was ridiculous. So it was crazy, y'all. That was a great show. You ain't seen that? Go look that up. It was good. But we talking about it, and then he starts commenting on this woman, this black woman, and her hair. First he was talking about her hair. He was like, yeah, another black woman. She's like, you must like her hair, huh? And I was like, what you mean? He was like, her hair all curly and whatever. First of all, her hair wasn't even nappy in the slightest, none of that. It was just curls, okay? And so he was like, he said, yeah, her hair is whatever, you like those, he's like, because you don't like your hair to be straight and manageable. You like it to be kinky and difficult to comb through and all this other stuff. And I was like, I ain't say nothing. I was just like, kiki, you know, laughing, pretending like I was amused by his foolishness. And then later on goes by, we get back to the kiki and like, boy, you so funny, girl, you so funny, oh, you cute, and then we're at the point in this movie where something else was happening, and it was another girl that came on. It was a real light-skinned woman, and we don't know if she was mixed. She didn't have straight hair, but she was a real light-skinned, fair-skinned woman. She was pretty. I think it was a commercial or something. I don't remember. But he was like, see, that's the kind of woman that I think, you know, is real attractive. He was like, you know, she light-skinned. She ain't like dark like that. And I was just like, what's wrong with being dark-skinned? Dark-skinned people can be beautiful. And he was like, I mean, dark-skinned people can be beautiful, but dark-skinned people, you know, dark-skinned women have a certain way of carrying themselves because they're always hating on light-skinned women. And I was like, I was just like, I'm sorry. I was like, so dark-skinned women are always just hating on light-skinned women. He was like, yeah. He was like, for no reason. I've seen light-skinned women get bullied because dark-skinned women just want to pick with them. And it's just because they're beautiful, and the dark-skinned women are usually not as pretty. Like some are, but a lot aren't. And I was like, well, some light-skinned women ain't pretty either. And some of them dark-skinned men, like I said, what does difference make? Black people is black people. Some people in general is cute, and some people in general, everybody beautiful. But you know, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if it ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea. But don't be acting like light-skinned women just be shitting on dark-skinned women, because black women in general, women, period. Light-skinned women, dark-skinned women, brown-skinned women, all of us look good AF. We look good. We look good with a T on the end. Okay? So, but back then, first of all, let me also be clear. This man did not in any way make me feel insecure, bad about myself, make me feel like I was not pretty, made me feel like I should straighten my hair, made me feel like I like that was better than what I had going on. I was raised in a household where being a black girl with black hair and black features was absolutely phenomenal, and I felt that way. I felt it strongly. And so no matter what anybody said to me, I was never fazed. I know some of people who would hear stuff like that and their feelings would get hurt, they would feel some type of way, and in my mind I was like, oh, you tripping, because I am fine and nobody can make me feel any other type of way. So moving on. I mean, y'all know I don't look good right now because I'm fresh out the shower, you know, girl looking a little crusty, but I'm still cute. Even when I'm crusty, I'm cute. You know, that's the point. So he was like, so then he's talking about the light-skinned woman. Then the dark-skinned woman, he said, so for example, like, she's pretty, she had straight teeth, you know, light-skinned woman, her eyebrows was done, and you know, she had a clear complexion. But then this dark-skinned woman here kept talking about the woman in the show because the commercial was over. And she was like, you know, she got that little chip tooth and all this. And I was just like, so dark-skinned women just known for having chipped teeth. Do you hear how dumb you sound? Like, it's stuff like this. Like, that's what made me like really not like him. Even though the thing is, He might not even remember this. But the thing is, because we are still friends on Facebook, I know this gentleman. He's married to a black woman, a beautiful black woman that looked melanated AF. And we was in high school and we went to a school surrounded by white people. So I'm pretty sure that probably had a huge impact on how he viewed women and beauty. And before I got there, right before I got there, like literally right before I got there, he was dating this little Caucasian girl named Bianca, a Becky, something. And that girl has passed away now. All right, rest in peace. But he was with her. And I was like, when he was saying all that to me on the phone, I was just kind of like, it was the most irritated I had ever been in a really long time. But I was also just kind of like, I kind of just shrugged it off, which was my biggest problem. I feel like as a woman, I should not have just let him say that, because I'm pretty sure if he said that to me, he would say that to another black woman. Another black woman may not be as confident in her beauty as I was in mine. And he could say that to her and make her feel like she's not beautiful, make her feel like she's not it, make her feel like she's this, that, and the other. And let me tell you, if you black, light skin, dark skin, middle skin, macadamia nut skin, it don't matter. You are beautiful AF. It don't matter if your hair is curly, straight, kinky, yet 4C hair to B8 hair. It don't matter. Is it B1? Yeah, I don't know them little hair types. But my point is 4B, 4C, 4A? Is it 3A? Anyway. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know these hair types like that. I know my hair type, but that's pretty much all that I know. So anyway, moving on. So throughout the time of our relationship, other stuff would happen. Like he would go to the office about some of the racist incidents that he went through, but then he would turn around and say really colorist type stuff and really like against his own race. And then he's not my only experience like that. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 story, because this happened in another situation where I wasn't dating the guy, but he was one of my good friends who did not date black girls. And basically what happened with him was we would ride the bus together every day. And I don't know how we got on the subject. So that's what happened with him. We did not date very long. We did it for like a month and a half. And thank God I moved, because if I hadn't moved at some point, I probably would have said something to him and it wouldn't have been in a nice way. And we might not have had a good relationship. Because right now we have a very good relationship. We comment on each other's stuff on Facebook. We're friends. He doesn't talk or act like he did back then. So I don't feel no type of way. Like, he's a good dude. But this particular guy, I haven't talked to him in years since high school. But this was like the same year. I went from one high school where it was nothing but white people to another high school where it was kind of diverse, but there was more white people than black people. So there was this guy, we're going to call him Kenneth. We didn't even give my other dude a name, but we're going to call him Kenneth. And he was my friend. We used to ride the bus home together. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but he was all like, one day we were talking about black women black dudes dating white women, because I had not experienced interracial. Up till this point, I had not experienced a lot of interracial relationships. This is just me being honest. Before this point, I had seen maybe one black guy, white girl relationship, one interracial relationship other than the one that I had been in. And the one that I was in had been made such a fuss of, because a lot of people in my family was all like, oh, you like white boys and you don't, and all that. Because of that situation, you know, I didn't think it was very, you know, something that people did often. And then when I came here, it was like black boys, white girls, left and right. I didn't see a whole lot of white guys and black girls, but I saw hella black men and white women. And I didn't feel no type of way. I just had never seen it. It was new to me. I didn't feel angry about it. I was just like, oh, that's crazy. There's a whole lot of interracial relationships out here. This is wild. Like, I think this is something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I was saying, we were talking about that on things. Some black girl was with me and she was like, all these black boys only want these white girls because these white girls da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And this was the first time I had ever heard a black man say something like this. Sophomore in high school. My friend Kenneth says, I don't date black girls. And I was just like, I just looked at him. I was like, oh, word. And I kept on going because I didn't care. I didn't think it was cute anyway. I said, okay, the black girls want to date you. What? Back at that time, I didn't realize the insulting nature of the fact that black men always say they don't date black girls as if something is wrong with black women. And I had not experienced that. This was literally my first time ever hearing anything of that sort. So when he said, I don't date black women, or I don't date black girls, and I said, oh, word, and another black girl who was with us was like, well, why don't you date black girls? He was like, black girls are too, and I turned around, I was like, too what? And he was like, to that. And I was like, to not for your bullshit? I mean, to not for your bull squad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, so you didn't tell me that because I have a little bit of an attitude, because you sitting here basically insulting me, that, so, and in my mind, I kept saying, so when you diss a white woman, your little white girl that you want so bad, she just take it. She just let that happen, and that's what you like. You like to be able to be down on somebody and talk down on somebody and make them feel badly about themselves, and they don't do anything to make you understand that you're not gonna do that to them. They don't do nothing. That's what you want. I was like, I said at the very end, I said it's one thing for you to say, oh, I don't have no preference, you know, to be like, you know, black, white, whatever, I'll date whoever. If I think you fine, I think you fine. That's what it is. Cool. Be that way. But to say that you're not attracted to black women, and especially to say that you're not attracted to black women because something is wrong with us, ain't nothing wrong with us. Something wrong with you. And when he said that, I was just like, but we've been friends all this time. I've never once caught an attitude with you. I ain't never rolled my neck at you. I ain't never came at you left. And then he was like, he said, yeah, he was like, but you're not as dark skinned as some of these other little black girls. You know, the darker they are, the more attitude they have. And when I tell you, yo, I was flabbergasted. I was shook, because this was my first time ever hearing words like this between him and the other dude that I had dated. I was hearing words that I ain't never heard nobody say before. The schools I went to an all-white school, y'all. Literally, when I was in 5th grade, I got some story times about that. But when I was in 5th grade, I went to an all-white school. I never heard anybody talk about black, dark-skinned women being better than light-skinned women. I never heard anybody talk about not dating black-skinned women because of this. I'm sure, you know, it's been happening for a long time, so I know it's been happening. But in my experience, it was my first time hearing it, and I was shook. Because I'm, like, for example, in my family, I'm the darkest one. I'm not, you know, super dark skinned, but I'm not super light skinned either. And I was the darkest one in my family. My mama, my sisters, they all light skinned. I look different than my family as far as, like, you know, black features, da-da-da-da. Like, we all are built different. And all of us just considered all of us to just be fine as all get out, just in different ways. So in my mind, I cannot fathom. We all have different body types, different types of hair. Like, me and my sisters and my mother, we all built so different, but we all be hyping each other up. And so I've never been raised in an environment where one was put over the other because one was light skinned and one was dark skinned. I have dark members in my family too, and we hype them up as well, because fine is fine is fine no matter what your complexion is, and black is beautiful. I never understood it. So when it happened, when I'm experiencing this from these men that I am interacting with, like, one was my boyfriend at the time he's making these statements, and the other one was just my cool, like, we supposed to be like this. That was my home squid. We supposed to be starting a band together and everything. I should have known, because he wanted to start a band. But anyway, y'all, when I tell y'all I was shook. And this was my first experience with colorism and men being anti-black. I didn't even know there was terms for this at the time. At the time, I didn't even, this is how unused to it I was, not used to it, whatever. I heard these things and I was offended by these things, and I never said a word. I would make little comments here and there, but I never argued about it. I never let them know exactly why they're wrong and where they're wrong. And I never even told, especially my friend, because my friend was the one that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, because he basically just said, I don't remember what exactly he said, but whatever he said, he basically said that I was ugly. And I'm like, nigga, you my friend. You ain't supposed to say that to your friends. But like, I was just kind of like, that's crazy. That's weird. Interesting. So, and I was, it was such a weird thing to hear for me that I was just kind of like, this really how some men think. And honestly, that was actually one of the last times I was ever close to anyone who said things like this. Because any black man who's in my life now, you don't talk to me like that. You don't ever say nothing like that. But every person that's in my life hypes black women up to the highest. My current significant other, pro-black women like shit. Okay, when I tell y'all, so y'all will see he randomly throughout the just be shouting out, be like, oh, black women are so beautiful. Black women are everything. The black woman is God. Y'all have to really put some respect on the black woman's name. That's the kind of people that I surround myself with, and have even more so since those situations, because of how weird and uncomfortable I was during those situations. I don't want to be surrounded by people who hating on our people. I don't want to be surrounded by people who pitting our people against each other. I don't want to be surrounded by people who acting like our people ain't as glorious and fabulous as we are. Like, that's just not it, y'all. I couldn't get with that. And I just had to share that experience because it popped into my mind. So if y'all enjoyed this story time, then like this video, comment section down below. Let me know your first experience with something like this. Because for me, this was like, at the time. Like, now I see it so often with these black men that it's just like, the self-hatred for me. But if that is how, like, I said what I said. So if you guys enjoyed this video, comment section, let me know your first experience with colorism as a woman. And if you are a woman and you experience things like this, don't be like me and let them just say that and you not say anything to defend yourself and let them know, or don't stay in their life. If they cannot respect the black woman, then they need to leave the black woman all the way the freak alone. Don't be over here trying to get us for no sex, for no nothing. Don't look at our music videos. Don't be on my Instagram. If you cannot respect me as a black woman, then you don't need to be in my vicinity in any way, form, or fashion, period, because I'm fabulous, and whether you like it or not. And I just can't. So let me know your experiences in the section down below. Let me know what you guys think about my experiences. I know that you guys are probably just like, wow, that's crazy. Like, you just let him get away with that. Especially if you know me, you're just like, wow, that's crazy. You really didn't say nothing. I was like, yeah, I didn't, but you know, I was different minded, and I wasn't, back then racism was not something I experienced a lot. I did not get very, very offended when I did experience it. Not to a point where I was angry. It was more of a confusion for me than it was anger. It was always like, what's wrong with you? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what y'all think. I had to get that out, y'all. That was an experience of mine. And yeah, so sorry, doing once again one of my famous I forgot to do the outro. I actually didn't realize that it cut out. So go ahead and subscribe to your notification bell. And yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram, cherishandflow_. If you want to start a conversation with me, then follow, like, get up in my DMs, talk to me, and all of that good stuff. I love you guys ever so much, and I will see you in the next video.